A coward dies 1,000 deaths. A soldier dies but once.
Notorious Victoria's. Erastus necessitas.
Welcome all, this is Blaezer RTW. I hope you are well. I'm good. It's a rubbish, I was going to say another word then. It's a really rubbish summer's day here in England. It's raining, overcast and about 12 degrees and it's the middle of August. So yeah, that's that done for nine months now. So there won't be no summer till then. You joined me today for a 2v2. It's been a little while since I did the last one actually because I've been flat out in work, so it might take me a minute or two to get up to speed with it. It's a 31k. You can see we've got a spectator here in the back, Ace of Spades. He's been in a couple already. Let's have a look at the team. Let's have a look at my team first, or our team. We're both SBQR, me on the right. The V-lights are in there, so it is right in and around those last lot that just come out. All the 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s and 4v4s are sort of catching up with each other now, so they're all in and around, you know, a couple of weeks with each other. I've gone for what looks like 13-6 plus the V-lights, so yeah, I bet you matey boy here, Titans Anubis, took a look at that and was sort of like, but we'll soon see. He's got a couple of archers, 4 cav, and then he's got the rest of them urbans all lined up in this formation. The lack of Peeler shield is obviously due to the fact that they've got Macedon and they won't be throwing anything at him. And you know, that's a nice tidy formation, and four deep as well, which is quite good. So on their team, as I said, they got Macedon on their right, our left, who is Turk. He's been in a few, good player. I like looking at the good pug players' builds. Let's have a look at his cav. He's got 5 companion cav. Yeah, I can't see any little general anywhere. Rest of them are royal pikes. Single unit, then 3, single unit, then 3, and then he's sort of got a 4-2-1 at the back. So whether he's going to use that as one block or use it as a sort of, you know, 2 separate armies or whatever, who knows. And then facing up to me on their left, our right, is Esrax. He's been in a few already, great player. So this should be a good battle. I'm just looking, I think he's got his legionary as a general, and there's a bit of a double-edged sword with that, whereby I don't know exactly how the game mechanics works, but you sort of get you know, you almost, I know you get like a double bubble because you've got the general's influence and then the, you know, the fact it's got the eagle on it as well as an influence. The flip side of that is obviously if the general goes, then, you know, you've lost a lot of what you were, you know, what you had, the benefit from it. But then I would say to that is that if your general's actually engaged, then you're probably not, you know, you're probably in a bad situation anyway, put it that way. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, let's build this up. So I'm assuming we've got the faction advantage because obviously they've got a Macedon. As I mean, you would assume with Titans being fairly good. I don't know if this is Sparky or not. I know he does change his name, but I thought it was something beginning with Z. That he changed it to quite often, but I don't know, this could be Sparky, it might not be. Either way, if he's a Titan, he's going to be fairly tidy at 31k. I'm probably the weakest player on the field, so on average they probably got the best. Yeah, I mean it's even, you know, I mean he might be the best player because he's in Titans, but then they're the second and third best, and then there's me, so it's sort of an even matchup from that respect, and we've probably got the slight faction advantage. But yeah, you've got to use it. Yeah, so it's obviously just building up there while I've been waffling on. Looks like I'm going to face up against Esrax. I mean, in this situation and in all team situations where I've got better attacking players on my team, I'll perform what I call a needling roll, which is not a defensive, not a defensive mindset, and it's not an attacking one. It's sort of halfway in between, and that's the exact indecision that I like to give the opposition as well. I like them to think, oh, he's coming on our side, and switch their eye up our end, so that the guy who can actually do the real damage can actually get on and do what he wants to do. You can see what I've sort of tried to do is sort of half cover Esrax's army. I was going to cut in there and hope that he could then hard flank Macedon, because if we can get our teeth into the Macedonian infantry, and I can neutralise Esrax, then the Titan should go through him pretty quickly. But yeah, you can see he's brought his cav over to my right. The archers are here. I know that because I would assume that he bought the archers because he thought there was going to be some Cretans, or if not, then they like to. I know the Titans like to hunt the cav with the thingy, which is why you can see they've all put. These two guys know exactly what he's going to do, and that's why they put all their cav into loose formation. Obviously not now, but you could use that quite well to your advantage, if you see what I mean. Like he is doing, they're in loose, so he was going to go for a strike with his Titan. By the time they formed it to Titan make the run, he's gone in and out. Macedon is pushing up over on this side. He's going to try and push his way through the Titan's infantry. I'm going to try and get a little bit tighter to him, and also just try and mess up his line a little bit here. You can see he's had to turn this unit to face me. He probably didn't want to do that. He would have liked to have kept them all head on. This is now going to give the chance for the archers to do their damage into the side of some of these units, so that's pretty good. He's left one unit dangling out front, and you can see he's performing a pretty heavy flanking action. I make that half his army he's taken out, including his general. Most players would leave their general closer to the ally army. He's actually going balls deep, as it were. Lovely little cheeky strike on the Testudo. That's when they're in Testudo. I do like to push my whole up army in front of them and then start hitting them with cav. And then if they come out of Testudo, they're already they're already getting chopped to death when they're coming out of it. So I seem to work that's quite well. But I don't really use Testudo a lot, so I need to use learn what the ins and outs of that at some point. You can see it's just a bit of tit for tat on the cav strike. That was a risky one there, because I could have got completely sideswiped by Esrax, but as it was, I didn't go all in on it. I just sort of made the hit with the first one and then turned them around. My lines aren't too bad, but you can see the Anubis is sort of just, I think he probably does have confidence in me, but I think what he also has is, like, Macedon's going to be defensive on their side. If they're going to push, it's going to be by Esrax. So if he's got a couple of his own urbans over here just to help out, that'll be alright. He's not doing a lot over this side. Turk's put his cav into diamond formation, but he's they're still in loose, so he needs to tighten them up. So you can see the difference between me and the more experienced player with our cav is that he's going in for cheeky little dinks here and there and just taking little cheeky nips. I've got in for one strike with all of mine, which is something that I do quite a lot. Is I don't tend to do little. You see some of them, they set them up into 3 groups of 2 behind, one on the left, one in the middle, one on the right, and they'll sort of take cheeky little digs with each one, which is fair enough. That would be, I hate those games because you just go through it and you think, I can't be asked to reply to any of these strikes, if you see what I mean. And then before you know it, you've lost your first 2 rows of infantry. You're like, Jesus, he's still got his full infantry and I've only got my back 2 rows on it. He's just caught me there, old Turk, with his companions. I need to pull him out because obviously he's got his pikemen in behind. On that side, it looks like he's just starting to make his attack now. Obviously the trick to fighting pikes is to come in from the side. Just keeping an eye on what they're doing over here. It looks like they're coming in for a nice big assault on this side. I could really do with smashing Esrax now. I should have done that a bit earlier because he's going to pull out, and I don't want to get, I don't want my horses to follow through, because what they're trying to do is bait me like they have done, and then his pikes will go down as soon as Esrax's horses are through. Yeah, no, he saw me pulling away. But the fact that all their cav over here is good, this is the sort of thing I was on about, whereby just needling them, keeping them honest on this side, and then letting Matey Boy do some damage when he's unmarked, as it were. Sorry, I just watched Match of the Day, so I'm using all these football terms. Okay, my cav's gone in for a rush on the right. Turk's moving up his cav. He has his pikes. He has just caught mine. He's now raised them. Has his own ones are running through. Titan's coming in for a charge on S-Rax's cav. He's probably not going to catch the cav, but he might catch a couple of the forward units. You can see now he's merged that flanking army he did have is in behind mine. Mine's not actually doing too bad. I think I've lost my first 2 rows though, so I've only got my 2 back rows left. You can see this guy was out on the right. What I've done is I've just left him there just so that he can do exactly what he's done there, which is mess up that line of pikes that he had. That's all a jagged formation now, and he's going to have to reset them to bring him into a decent formation. Where's my cav? My cav's just fallen back over here. Nothing much going on over there. S-Rax is sending a couple of his out to our right again. I would imagine he wants to take out this guy who's holding up the pikes. Yep, there he goes. And you can see that Turk is now moving his Macedon troops into my formation. He's left himself a bit vulnerable there, though. You can see Anubis has sort of put his units in a like one single formation, one row. My guy stood up really well then, actually, to be fair to him. I think that's because we've got a lot of numbers here in the other Anubis's general. So we've got quite a nice wide line. It's not very deep, our formation. It is in the centre. We're very strong in the centre, and I think we might actually break through there. But, you know, if I was looking at it now from, you know, the way I look at it, that looks like a very thin part right in the centre there. If we could rush our units up and maybe one big cav charge go through the side of that. So you can see the big cav charge for them is coming in on our centre. They were probably thinking the same thing. I've actually sent 3 round the left, 3 from the back. So I'm going to back up Titan's cav in the middle. Here comes S-Rax in with some of his cav. He's split his cav as well. He's hit a few of the Titans. There's a real mess in the middle there. Everything's getting chucked in that's anywhere near the regions. If I've got anything left in mine, they're all going to be on auto peeler now and just chucking it in as the cav. I'm actually going to try and weaken this Macedonian formation, but I think I just got caught there, so I need to pull my horses out. It was a nice idea but wrongly executed. We should have made a little goal, but what that's done is it made a couple of his pikes turn the other way, which is going to let the Anubis's infantry get in there a little bit. The centre didn't hold, but they haven't actually come, you know, the first centre bit. We've obviously got these guys in reserve here, and the thing what you'll notice is in the difference is that I've hardly got any units left now. Anubis seems to still have his whole army left apart from his cav, which he was doing, but he's probably done enough damage in it. So you can see the Macedonians are coming in for a charge on this left-hand side. They've just taken out one of Anubis's units. He's got a couple out there of blockers as well. They're going to just hold up the S-Rax's cav, which is coming in from the same side. Anubis is going to come in and try and hit one of these Testudos in the centre with what's remaining of his cav. In comes the big cav charge now from Macedon, and he's rushed up a few of his royal pikes. That's all right. We're pulling them out of formation. We can hopefully weaken this centre bit. You can see this centre has actually been backed up with a couple of S-Rax's urbans. That's pretty good to stop us working our way through or doing, you know, the old guard mode trick with them. I was going to send mine in to crack out one of these Testudos, but I don't think it's going to do much job. It might just... Nope. Turk's running a couple of his pikes that were behind, so I need to get my cav out of there because... not got too much left. Anubis actually had quite a fair bit of his cav left considering. I need to come and face up to these Macedonian cav on the left now. We need to watch out for S-Rax coming on the right. Anubis looks like he's got that covered though. So although we were pushing on our left, they fought us back quite well. Macedon's coming in for a charge on the left of one of my units, which is facing up the Royal Pikeman all on his own, so just the weight of all their numbers in that corner is probably going to do me on that side. But we're still quite nice and compact, I'd say, in this centre. So Esrax looks like he's being slightly more aggressive on this side now. He's going to push on Anubis a little bit. Anubis has seen us. He's rushing out all his urbans to meet the cav, or at least what was there in that back row. I've sent my guys in for a strike at Esrax's general. If we can get Esrax's general, that would be ideal. Anubis has got the right idea, taking the numbers down slowly, but he's going to take another cav charge at least. Esrax is coming from the side there, which is pretty good. I would have probably liked to have come a bit more from my side. This guy's not doing a lot. I've obviously just seen him now though. Now that my cav is forming back up, I could do with smashing Esrax in the side. Anubis has gone straight through the centre there, so that's pretty good. That's going to weaken the morale of the Esrax's forces there. You can see I'm just chucking a few units in just to keep. I know you should, probably put them in Testudo or something, but just want to hold them up in the meantime. But that's pretty good play by Turk flanking us on the right. All the action is over here on our right though. I'm trying to make use of it. Looks like we managed to get Esrax's general. That's going to put pressure on all his forces. He only had minimum cav left. That's just routed off. I think anything left that was in there was he got a couple of urbans. They're all going to go in a minute under the weight of the numbers. So that's pretty good play. We managed to crack that side in the end. I'm having a cheeky little dig at the Macedonian general, and I know it's not really great, but what I'm actually doing is just stopping them by pushing their way through on this side, which is allowing Anubis to clean up on the right. So I'm just keeping them honest on this side to stop them flanking me. I've got a couple of routing units I could bring back in, or should be bringing back in. I think that's all of us. Oh no, Esrax has got the couple that he had in with the pikemen left, so it's getting down to the wire now. I've got a little bit of cav left. Anubis is pushing in from the right. My general's slap bang in the centre of it all. He's got 25 left. I think he's the only one of my army there, but he'll be providing a nice big boost to all those units that are attacking. I could do with slamming my cav into the back of that Macedonian general now, just to either make him turn so he gets stabbed in the back by my general, or just to, he'll rout off if I hit him. Oh, there you go. He did turn, but I didn't get a very good charge on him, to be fair. And the centre, yeah, that was there. Sorry, I thought the Skippy eye was me for a minute then. They're throwing what they've got left in there, but I think at this point, yeah, there's too many of them going there. They're all going to chain route now. That's all. Their morale's completely gone. And then yeah, we've got a couple of units here on the right, but yeah, he's just admitted defeat. So yeah, I hope I didn't miss too much of that. That was pretty good play. I think I owe a big debt to the Titan. You can see how much of his army he's got left. But like I said, sometimes I like to be the lightning rod, keeping the enemy's eyes at my end. You know what I mean? Is he going to attack? Isn't he? Etc. 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 Or attacking me and using their neighbour's cav, and then the better players can then do their damage on the left or right, whatever side they're on. But yeah, you'll see a lot more of that. So you can see it's reflected even the kills, even if you take into the account that he was facing Macedon. Obviously Macedon admitted at the end, so he still got high kills, even if it would have been not Macedon, if that makes sense. But yeah, good game to all. I enjoyed that, enjoyed watching that back. Good players, all playing well, and me. So yeah, good times. Right, see you later.
Call me, Blaezer.